What's up, guys? My name is Brandon. You guys can call me Swifters, and welcome back to a brand new Fortnite video here on my channel. Today I am coming at you guys with a super exciting video because in today's video we're going to be taking a look at 5 new things coming to Fortnite. In today's video we are going to be taking a much closer look at a ton of things that are both confirmed by Epic Games to be coming to the game, alongside some additional items that were leaked in the game files. Regardless, with everything that we will be taking a closer look at in today's video, we can expect to see them coming to the game early tomorrow morning or sometime throughout the next week. Now, as I said, the majority of items that we will be talking about will most likely be coming to the game early tomorrow morning, and the reason why I say that is because tomorrow morning marks the beginning of one of Fortnite's biggest updates here in the game. This is the Fortnitemares update, and for those of you who don't know, it was confirmed earlier over on Twitter by Epic Games that the Fortnitemares update is scheduled to be released early tomorrow morning, beginning at 4 a.m. Eastern Time or 1 a.m. Pacific Time. Regardless, this monumental update here in Fortnite Battle Royale is expected to introduce a ton of new things into the game, and of course, in today's video, I wanted to go ahead and take a look at all of those new things coming to the game with the brand new Fortnitemares update. So to go ahead and get started with today's video, the very first new thing coming to Fortnite Battle Royale tomorrow morning is actually a returning weapon. This is the pumpkin launcher. Now, for those of you who were playing Fortnite back in October of 2017 for the first ever Fortnitemares update, you guys definitely remember that the pumpkin launcher was such an awesome and creepy weapon added into the game. Now, the reason why we know that the pumpkin launcher is going to be coming back for the second annual Fortnitemares update is because not too long ago over on Twitter, Eric Williamson, who is one of the lead developers over at Epic Games on Fortnite Battle Royale, posted this on Twitter. As you guys can see, he said, "Thoomp, hee hee, wah," with a pumpkin emoji. Now, I know that may not seem like much to a lot of people, but for those of you who were playing Fortnite back in October of 2017, like myself, and were able to experience the first ever Fortnitemares update and be able to experience the pumpkin launcher in the game, you guys definitely know that what Eric Williamson typed out is pretty much the exact sound that the pumpkin launcher makes when you fire it. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and play you guys the Fortnitemares trailer that was released over a year ago, and within this trailer you guys are able to see what the pumpkin launcher looks like and what the pumpkin launcher sounds like, and it only confirms from Eric Williamson's tweet that the pumpkin launcher is going to be making a return here in Fortnite with this second ever Fortnitemares update. So, as you guys can tell from the trailer, the sound effects of the pumpkin launcher are super creepy and very cool, and I definitely think that Eric Williamson did a super awesome job at making the sound effects sound pretty realistic by simply just typing them out. But of course, the pumpkin launcher is a brand new weapon, or more likely a reskinned, redesigned weapon of a pre-existing launcher here in Fortnite that's actually going to be making a return into the game with the brand new Fortnitemares update dropping early tomorrow morning. So moving on to the next new thing coming to Fortnite, this is very similar to the pumpkin launcher in the sense where it's actually another weapon. However, this weapon was something that was previously in Fortnite but was taken out of the game, and it is a little bit different from the pumpkin launcher just because this weapon isn't necessarily a reskinned or redesigned version of a previous weapon in the game. Rather, as I said, it is a weapon that Epic Games once had in Fortnite, but for some reason it decided to take it out. This is the Revolver. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that the Revolver was taken out of Fortnite about a month to a month and a half ago, maybe even a little bit more. However, we actually have some evidence suggesting that tomorrow morning with the brand new massive Fortnitemares update here in Fortnite, the Revolver, which is a highly loved and beloved weapon here in Fortnite, is actually expected to be making a return. Now, the reason why we know this is because yesterday Fortnite posted this over on Twitter. As you guys can see, they said, "Take the shot if you have enough to last. The wind calls out. Fill your chambers fast. Hashtag Fortnitemares." And of course, the image accompanied with that string of text very clearly is a revolver. Now, it's from my understanding that there honestly wasn't really any justification for removing the Revolver from Fortnite, and I honestly think a lot of people were pretty upset that Epic Games took it out from the game, and there's definitely been some backlash within the Fortnite community because honestly, the Revolver was a pretty nasty weapon. You guys could definitely get some super awesome plays with it, and because of that, I definitely think that Epic Games is actually planning on reintroducing the Revolver back into Fortnite tomorrow morning with the Fortnitemares update. So, moving on to another new thing coming to Fortnite tomorrow morning. This is actually a brand new feature that Epic Games is testing out with this brand new update. This is in regard to a brand new glider redeploy test or a glider redeploy system coming to the game. So, in the Volume 6.2 update, we'll be adding the glider redeploy mechanic from soaring 50s into all game modes. You'll be able to hop into a solo, duo, or squad match as per usual, but now you will be able to redeploy your glider when you are at least 3 stories high. So, as you guys can see, this is basically the mechanics of what the developers over at Epic Games are talking about. You guys are essentially going to be able to redeploy your glider at any point so long as you guys are above 3 stories high. I don't know about you guys, but I am definitely not a fan of this particular feature coming to the game. Again, this is just merely a test, and Epic Games is going to gauge community feedback, but I can guarantee that this is not going to be something that lasts for a long time, because I don't know about you, but I feel like part of playing Fortnite is getting into major build battles and knowingly assuming the risk that you guys could potentially get shot down or you may be able to fall off of your build, and that's a risk that you assume when you go into a build battle. If you have this sort of parachute in your back pocket where you guys know that you can jump off of the top of a build fight and be able to make it to the ground safely without taking any damage, I just think is something that shouldn't be in Fortnite. On top of that, I honestly think that something like this could be used to sort of completely replace the jump pad in a sense. Imagine you guys are running away from the storm, you're at the highest point of a mountain, you guys can continuously build up with a ramp, you guys can jump off of your ramp, deploy your glider, and you can still get pretty far. Obviously, you're not going to be able to get as far as if you were using a launch pad or a jump pad. However, you guys can definitely get some air, you guys can definitely cover some ground, and because of that, I honestly think that this is something that Epic Games should seriously not add into the game, but it is something that will be coming tomorrow morning. So, moving on to the fourth new thing coming to Fortnite. This is actually in regard to some new locations coming to the map. We're going to go ahead and play the glider redeploy test system video. As you guys can see, our character is jumping off of the bridge close to Tomato Temple, and obviously you guys can see Tomato Temple, but Tomato Temple definitely looks a little bit different. Now, you guys can see on the far left-hand side of the screen, there used to be a house over by the Tomato Temple, and obviously the house is no longer there. On top of that, on the right-hand side, where the gas station used to be, there is now a giant brown area, so that means the gas station alongside the house is going to be removed, and I can only assume that there's going to be some other significant changes close to the Tomato Temple, alongside some brand new points of interest and other new locations coming to Fortnite early tomorrow morning with the brand new Fortnitemares update. So, moving on to the fifth and final new thing coming to Fortnite, especially with the brand new Fortnitemares update. This is in regard to a brand new character or a brand new skin. While we don't know the name of it, I can only assume this is going to be some version of the male Ghoul Trooper, and the reason why we know this is because a few days ago, Fortnite posted this over on Twitter as the very first teaser for the Fortnitemares update. They said, costumes and dancing, partner up, be wise, they could be friendly or a ghoul in disguise. Now, it obviously makes a lot of sense for Epic Games to bring a male version of the Ghoul Trooper into the item shop, just because, as you guys know, a couple of weeks ago, Epic Games reintroduced the Skull Trooper into the item shop, and they also added a female Skull Trooper being the Skull Ranger, and because we have yet to see the Ghoul Trooper, another Halloween-themed skin, return to the item shop, it only makes sense that tomorrow, not only will we maybe see the return of the female Ghoul Trooper into Fortnite Battle Royale, but we may also see a male Ghoul Trooper known as the Ghoul Ranger here in Fortnite. Regardless, guys, there you have it. Those were 5 new things coming to Fortnite, and as I said, I can only assume that all 5 of these new things will be coming to the game early tomorrow morning with the brand new Fortnitemares update, also known as the patch volume 6.2 update here in Fortnite. Regardless, guys, let me know your thoughts, opinions, and feedback regarding this brand new massive update here in Fortnite. Fortnite coming early tomorrow. With all of that out of the way, please be sure to drop a like down below, subscribe if you're new. With that being said, I'll be sure to catch you guys later.